let's see if I can help here. All right, number 2. It's a decagon. So that means it has 10 sides. I'm not going to draw out the whole decagon, but when it says consecutive radii, that means this and this. So these are consecutive radii, so the angle formed between them is this. And then for part B, it says between a radius, which would be this, and the side of the polygon, so these, which in a regular polygon, these are congruent. So if it's 10-sided, I go 360 divided by 10, which is 36. So that means this is 36. And then to find this, what do all the angles in a triangle add up to? 180. So I go 180 minus 36, which is 144. And then, so together these equal 144. So I go 144 divided by 2, which is 72, yeah. So this is 72 and that's 72. So that's A, that's B. All right. Number 3 is actually really similar. Go ahead and screenshot that. All right. 3 is really similar. You're going to do the same thing, except for it's with a octagon. So again, do the exact same thing, except for instead of it being 10 sides, it's 8 sides. So you take 360 divided by 8, you get that, and then go 180 minus that divided by 2 to get those. So it's literally the same thing, but instead of 8 sides, or instead of the 10 sides like it was before, now it's 8 sides. Okay. On question 7, a hexagon. Okay, we got to find the area of each of these triangles. Okay, so really similar to what we did yesterday. So this time it's 6 sides. So I take 360 divided by 6, and I get 60. So each of these are 60. Now, if this is 60, I draw this down the middle, that makes this 30, that makes this 60, because that's 90, because all the angles in a triangle have to add up to 180, remember. Yes. Okay, so on this one, so I'm looking at a triangle that looks like this. And then I'm going to find the area of that whole triangle right there. So remember from a 3690, this is x. This is x radical 3. And that's 2x, which that won't matter. But if this whole base is 9, that means this is 9/2, half of 9. So if this is x, cross on 30, that's 9/2. So I take 9/2 and I plug it in for x. So that means this is 9/2 radical 3. So that's my height. And then my base, remember, is still 9. So to find the area of that, I go area equals 1/2 times my base, which is 9, times my height, which is 9, oops, yeah, 9 over 2 radical 3. Yeah, 1/2 times my base times my height, 9. Yes. So I get area equals 9 times 9 is E1 radical 3 all over 4. And let me take a look at that for a second. Okay. So I've got area is this. So now that's just this triangle. I want to find the area of all of them. Well, there's 6 of those. So I take this times 6. And I get 243 radical 3. Yeah, 243 radical 3 all over 2, which 243 divided by 2 is 121.5. That's 121.5 radical 3. All right, that's number 7. Let me look up these. All right, let's look at one like your number 10 and 11. If you're given a shape, I'll just use this example. So you have an octagon here. Okay. Still split into triangles. And now on mine, it's 13.07 is my radius. And this is 10. Well, the nice thing here, again, I got to draw in my height. But if this whole thing is 10, that means this is 5 and this is 5. So I can do this a couple different ways. I think actually the easiest here is to use Pythagorean theorem. I can go, well, actually, no, I'm going to keep using the exact same thing. So again, there's 8 sides. So I go 360 divided by 8, and I get 45. Now this whole thing is 45. This whole thing is 45. So I don't want just that, I want this little angle. So divide that by 2. 360 divided by 8 was 45. And then I take 45 divided by 2, and I get 22.5. So this is 22.5. Okay. Now, if I want to find the height, call it height right here. This is opposite, and this is adjacent. So I'm going to use tan of 22.5 equals opposite 5 over adjacent h. And so I go 5 divided by tan of 22.5. And I get 12. So h equals 12.1. That's my height. And if I'm finding the area of this whole thing, remember, area of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base, which is 10, times the height. So I take that times 10 times 1/2, and I get 60. Now that's what that triangle is. Now how many triangles are there? 8. So I take that times 8, and I get 482.8 in my case. So that's how you do 10, 11. 12 is a little trickier. Okay, go ahead and screenshot. It's a little trickier. It says find the area of an equal odd triangle. Okay. With a radius of 7 radical 3. Okay, so if it's a triangle, again, we split this. This was split into 3 equal triangles. 360 divided by 3. Notice that's always your first step. Is 120. So if this is 120 and this is 120, this whole thing is 120. Let me see. This whole thing is 120. That means this is 60, which means this is 30. cross with 30 is x, cross with 60 is x radical 3, and this is 2x. So when I go 7 radical 3 equals 2x, divide both sides by 2, so I get 7 radical 3 all over 2 equals x. So now from there, I've got, that's x, so that means 7 radical 3 all over 2 times radical 3 is going to be 7 radical 9 all over 2, which is 7 times 3 all over 2, which is 21 over 2. Okay, because I'm simplifying. Radical 3 times radical 3 is radical 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So I multiply those 7 times. Oh, wow, I can read my own handwriting. Oh, yeah, I can. 7 times 3. Hang on. Yep. Okay. So that's what, and then this is still 7 radical 3 all over 2. Okay. Now from there, I have my base, which is 21 halves. So, or this is 21 halves here. So times 2, that means this whole thing is 21. So my base is 21, my height is this. And if I'm going to find the area, I go area equals 1/2 times the base, which is 21, times the height, which is 7 radical 3 all over 2. So I go area equals 21 times 7 divided by 4, which is, yeah, 147 all over 4. And then notice the radical 3 is still top. So all I did was I multiplied 1 times 21 times 7, which got me 147, and I took 2 times 2, because that's what's on the bottom. Multiply the denominators. And I get this. All right, so I get this for my one triangle. So that's the only area for just one of my 3 triangles. So I have to multiply this all by 3, which gets me 441 radical 3 all over, or over 4. All right, let's see here.